Welcome to Free Flow, St. Lucia's best and biggest podcast. Let's get it.
Record.
No, I didn't even know if you were not, but I'm like, yeah,
That
what
would
you
be
saying
a
there?
crazy thing if we record the whole episode and we didn't hit record.
I've been so much leaks. Let me tell you,
After you wake up.
it would have been a violent scene. You would have to have, I would have been arrested because I would have been charged for assault. And there's no shame in assault.
Honestly, I would be so vexed with myself. I would not press charges.
Because I would be
not press
like, Your
charges.
Honor. Tell me if that's not lacking.
Yeah, I don't think I'd press charges. I'd be like,
I would,
I deserve that.
I would tell her, if you were in my shoes, how would you feel?
After you don't want to wake up, you don't want to leave your home. You make all that effort to come there.
That's how you reach here, or like you almost get a fair bless. And then all the time you're there, nothing don't get safe.
Nothing. You just be talking.
I feel the honor would have just sided with me. She would have been like, yeah, I understand. Just allow her to go.
So normally, I like to start off with an icebreaker. Okay.
Sure.
Every episode. Sometimes I forget. Like sometimes the conversations be going so we so engrossed in our conversation we forget the icebreaker. But I remember this time. All right. So our icebreaker today, it's a little bit of one we've been using quite often. It's called Dream Dinner Guess. And basically the question is, if you had to have dinner with 3 people that you may want to know or you want to have a conversation with, but alive or dead, who would they be and why?
Tony Robbins. I think it's Warren Buffett, that's his name. And oh my gosh, what's this man's name? Jim Rohn.
Jim Rohn?
Rohn.
I don't think I've ever heard of that one. Who
You
is he?
don't know Jim? Oh my God, the man was the man that's almost like created what they call it the whole life coaching and mindset talking and personal development. Jim R. The last name
Oh,
is R.
him?
Yes.
I've seen him. I've actually
But that's
seen
what
him.
I'm telling
Yeah,
you.
like,
How you don't know the man's name?
Actually, this week my friend sent me. Is he alive?
He's dead.
But yeah,
You see the quality of those recordings.
Yeah, my friend.
You
no,
feel made recent. It
but
cannot be recent.
the video he actually sent me was like a highly edited video, so it was probably like an old video.
Yes, and they
just
took.
kind of
Yes,
thing.
he is very. These 3 people. I would want to pick the brain.
But why Tony Robbins? Why Jim Rohn?
Well, Tony Robbins is part of the reason why I got into what I'm in there right now. I was going through some stuff, and I remember going on to YouTube and seeing a video of his about, you're doing people an injustice for not letting them know about you and your talents and your skill. And I'm like, why is this man jitting power for me? Like, who are you? Like, how you know my business? Like, because in that time I was a little bit indecisive of what I wanted to do, what to do next. And then I went down a rabbit hole and I just see his videos, just the way he speaks. He's very insightful.
Yeah, I can relate to that because I've watched a lot of his videos, a lot of his motivational talks, and I honestly don't really like to hear his voice. I find it's very annoying to listen to, but I can really sacrifice that and appreciate his insights.
Yes, his insights, yes. And for Jim is this man, he has a lot of philosophy and he has a different view on life that a lot of people aspire to be. Like, how they talk about the 1% being wealthy. He's in the 1% that reach a level of mental freedom that a lot of people are still trying to get to. And because of that, I would want to pick his brain. Like, literally, like, hey, let me ask you this. I'd have a whole notepad and I would be scribbling because I know for sure I would get value. And for Warren, his business ethics.
Okay.
I feel like this man got wealthy strategically. I need that kind of strategy. I need that kind of. So this would have been for me. For me, I'd have need insight. I would have need some life lessons. I would have need some money strategy, and I feel like I would have been good. Afterwards, I'm unstoppable. You would not be able to catch me up. You would have to talk to my receptionist.
Well, I still feel you'll be unstoppable, so I'm happy I got you before
No,
you
before
get too busy.
yeah. You'd have to check with my secretary. You would have to. You'd have to check with her. You wouldn't get me direct because I would be making moves. With that kind of intel. Catch me if you can. You'd have to.
All right. What was it like growing up for you, though? What was it like coming up, growing up as a child? What was life like for you?
Nice. It was. My mom has 6 kids. Number 4.
4 to 6, okay.
Yeah, and because my sister after me lived in another country, I was basically like the last one. So I would say life was nice. My mother was a real hard worker. But she was, you know how you can have a conversation and it just clicks with a child and it's like they don't even want to do wrong. It's like that's how it was with my mother. Like she would have just spoke and it would just make sense. like she wouldn't have to beat me and do the whole corporal punishment stuff. She would just, it's almost like she used to just reason with me and tell me, you know what, well, that's not making sense. Right?
So was it like in a very assertive way, or was it just, I don't know, the way she had that conversation?
Yeah, it was just like, okay, all right. So it's almost like I wouldn't want to disappoint her or, get her angry. Like, so it was always a thing of and there's something that she always used to tell me is use my discretion as a go-to line.
Wow.
Like something happens, you use your discretion in the time. Don't let your friend tell you this is what you're supposed to do. You understand? See if that's making sense to you.
That sounds like a very intellectual kind of lady.
Yeah, I know, right? That she's so down to earth, I would never believe. Yeah.
and it shows the level of trust that the two of you all have for each other.
The user discretion was a crazy thing because why would you be telling a teenager that you don't know my discretion not good? My discretion not good. It's not good.
Was it that way with your other siblings?
Yeah, pretty much. But she had that like not on your back kind of thing and almost allow for you to self-express. She had that about her. And I think because of that is why I'm always able to like waiver things, because I can just remember the whole use your discretion. You understand? Like analyze what's happening. Don't just do things and then tell me you don't know why you do it. That don't make it sense. So I'm like, okay, yeah, well that makes sense. And even if something like bad would happen or I was looking forward to something or something, she would tell me like, at least you got to experience this. So at least you got to see this, you got to do that. And that also, I mean, it took me a little minute to get to that point, because when you're disappointed about something, it's just disappointed.
Exactly,
yeah,
that's true. You don't think about it.
I don't want to think about it. So right, but then it's like as I'm older, it makes a lot of sense. Even I remember being in a relationship, discussing that with her, and then it didn't work out, and I was just so torn about it. And then she was like, I know it didn't work out, I know you're upset, but you got to experience, you went this place, you do this, so you can, and she almost made it sound like I had a life bucket list. So she was like, you got to do this, you may never get to do it again, you don't know if the opportunity would ever come for you to do it again, right? And then she started to see it like that, and I was like, you know what, you say making sense. She said, yeah, I know you're disappointed, but at least you got to experience something that maybe you'll never get to experience again.
That's true. I feel like though, yes, you kind of have to, like she had that glass half full kind of when speaking to you all, but you should also give yourself time to feel the emotion.
Yes.
And not try to, just because you're trying to be glass half full, you kind of block out the anger, the sadness.
Yes, that's like toxic positivity. I don't support that.
Yeah. Okay. You spoke about coming up with growing up a little bit with illness and that kind of thing, dealing with chronic illness, that kind of thing. Tell me more about that.
You sure you're ready? It's a shy. It's a lot. I was always the child that was in the hospital. Remember, like I tell you, she had 6. I was always the one that was always in the hospital from little. I have books from health center to when VH was like there, I was always there. I always had an ache, I always had a pain, I always had something. Yeah, that was, and I think because of that, people said like she kind of covered me that kind of way because I was always the one that it always looked scary for her, especially having to always rush me to the hospital. Oh, I don't know how she was doing it because there was always something going on with me, and she would do the long hours and come back home and then go to work for 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, having to deal. And then it was 2011. I remember having some severe back pain. And then that's when I first was diagnosed with scoliosis. And at the time, I did not understand. I don't think there was a lot of knowledge around scoliosis really, really here locally. So I didn't get proper care for that. I've been trying to manage that and doing therapy and different stuff. And then as I continued, like, just, I don't know, it started with the back and then it just went downhill. Wow. So we're looking at so many other different autoimmunes and other bone conditions, hormonal issues, neuro issues. My nerves are doing stuff as well. And it's like trying to find answers. And because of how my mother finance was, getting medical insurance wasn't a thing at the time. It's not something that she could have afforded to do. So when you find out that you're sick and then you're trying to get medical insurance and they tell you, ooh, what you have, you're a red flag. You're a red. Imagine you telling me what am I supposed to do with that information? Oh, yeah, you are a red flag, so we're not, because the amount of maintenance it will need for you'll be claiming too often. Exactly, I'm like, isn't that the point?
They need to make their money first before
let me tell you. And I tried several different insurance companies. Several. If it was for life, I would have get the life because they watch what's going on. They're like, yeah. The life was a no-brainer. But make it make sense. You're ready to cover me when I die.
Yeah, when you die.
But once I'm awake, no, not really. That's not really a thing. Yeah. But if you're dying, though, you can get the life insurance. So I didn't get any medical insurance. So it really was working to maintain what I have going on. And it took me a while to get a grasp on my health because I was in denial a lot. I felt like my body failed me. I felt like, why is me? And I watch everybody in my age group, in my stuff, able to get the job that they wanted to, able to finish their education, and I have to find what's possible for income so that I can basically look normal and blend in. So it took me some years. If you had maybe asked me that maybe 10 years ago, I'd have not been able to even speak about it. I'd have just break down. It was really something that I shielded from a lot of people. Like, you wouldn't even know I'm not well if I don't tell you. And I would struggle in silence. I'd be in massive pain and I would just sit there. And you ask me, you go, yeah, all right. And as soon as you go, I'd just break down. The suffering and the bawling would have happened after you left. But once you're there, I would have just fug it out. I would have definitely just hided it. And I feel like some people that knew about it, it almost make a reaction of, say, every time I talk to you, you're sick. Like, why are you saying that?
Some people...
Don't laugh, guys. Why are you saying that?
I don't to justify.
Don't even try to justify. Don't say that. That line is a trigger line. You could have said it another way.
Hear that. That happens for me too. Okay? Like, somebody will tell me something like that. Like, it's sick. I said, every year, man. Like, you want to give the hospital a break. Like, but it's it's not intentional.
Don't tell me that.
It's not intentional.
And it used to make me feel, and I guess at the time, now if I hear it, I can maybe laugh with you about it. But back then, it was like stabs, internal stabs, adding to all my insecurities mentally. I had alopecia. Let me tell you, I spent a lot of money. Well, not had, I have in wigs and weave because I was denying that. I covered a lot. I did a lot of masking, and I would be the girl that have the one hairstyle because that's all. When you're trying to hide the patches and the scar, there's only one kind of way you could. And I had no shame in coming the one way because I just was not ready to put that out there. And it was discovering all of those things, and I always used to like to writing and drawing. I always had that like creative. I guess the term for it now is creative, right? You're creative, yes. So I guess I was always a creative. Self-expression, writing. I used to do poems. I used to draw, and I always had that passion of expressing and understanding. And then I said, you know what? When I finally listen to Tony Robbins' videos again, it just making me feel a type of way. And I said, I know there's other people struggling in silence like how I was. And it took me a while to feel like there was a community and feel comfortable. So I said, you know what? I want to be that for somebody. And that's when I went to the barber. And I finally cut my hair because I'm like, whew. Okay. All right.
What does the trend of thought do? Like while you were at the barber?
Let me tell you, at second 40, I was like,
do I really want to do this?
because my
You see
barber.
the size of my head.
Because
How
when I
am I
reached
going
out
to
to
do this?
him, it was, I still realized I had some sensitivity to it because I actually, you almost said like I had to give him a disclaimer. But I know him because we went to school together. So I'm like, okay, Dio, I want to cut my hair. And let me explain to you why I want to cut. Why am I even sending that kind of message? And I'm
You want
like,
to
you
cut my
know,
hair, too?
yeah, no. I'm like, okay, so I have alopecia. So I have scarring in my scalp. And, you know, I have patches. And I want to get this look. And I'm not sure. And I had to give a whole disclaimer, like almost to give a heads up so that I think I feared that, a part of me still feared that he might judge me. So I felt like if I let him go know beforehand, whatever he say or does, I already built that defense and that wall, so it would not faze me. And I'm giving my disclaimer, and he's like, I can do that. You gonna be all right. And I got to the barber, and I'm sitting there, and I'm, oh, I say, boy, I really doing that, eh? Okay, all right. So we haircutting my hair. I'm watching in the mirror. I then watching myself, watch my haircut, and I said in my mind, you sure? You sure you wanted to do that? But
Why
it's
am
kind
I
of too.
cutting?
It's kind of too late to back on now because they done cut the whole side already. And I'm like,
It
how would
actually look better now to just cut all.
how would you hide that?
Yeah.
How would you, like, let's be realistic. So I was like, whoo. And despite all of that, you know, I had how much hair on the floor. I remember you telling me, for somebody that have alopecia and their hair falling, you really have hair on your head. I'm like, I know, right? You say that's a lot of hair.
You know that's your life saving.
You and I picked it up and I held it, and for a moment there, I wanted to hold it. I wanted to hold it and I wanted to go back with it. Right? As some souvenir, some sentimental thing. I remember picking it up and I was like, then I say, girl, no, girl, you have to part with that. That have to go. Leave that in the barber. What you holding that for? That, you don't need that. Part with that. Let that go. We are stepping into full self-acceptance. This is what it's supposed to look like. Taking you as you are now. And I remember cutting it. As my hair was black, you were seeing the patches more. So I said, you know what, I'm going to bleach it. So I remember somebody saying, why would you bleach your hair? You have alopecia. I said, girl, the hair is already falling. It cannot fall any It cannot fall any further. It's already falling. So you feel the bleaching damage you're telling me about. Oh, your hair might fall, sis. You're late. You're on the late bus.
It might fall.
The hair has been falling.
It has already fallen.
You feel like worried about that. And I bleached it. As I bleached it, it's like the bleach kind of hide the patches. So it blended in so nice. I was like, oh.
How long ago was that?
When did I start Sarah Chronicles? 2023? Yeah.
Okay, so that's about 2 years.
Yeah.
About 2 years.
I cut it. I think it was it March? I think it was March. March I cut it.
March 2023.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And yeah, I was like, okay, this is it. We are doing it. And
How's life after that?
let me tell you, I regret it took so long to cut my hair because you see the idea of just getting up and woo, and Out of there,
yeah.
I get to sleep more. That's a
all of y'all
bonus.
say. That's what all
There's
of
no
y'all
going
say.
back from here. Imagine it's somebody. So many people have reached out afterwards and tell me, try this or that alopecia, try that, and I tried so much already for it to try to get it back. A lot of products going to the dermatologist. I even did a scalp biopsy where they cut a piece of my scalp to find out what type of alopecia, what treatment I can get. So when I say I tried. So right now, when they reach out and say, try this product, I'm like, girl, I'm embracing the patches. If you have a problem seeing my bald spots, that's you and your mind. I've gotten to a point where I'm so in sync with me, I'm not even bothered about what it looks like anymore. I'm not even trying to save it. We tried, we good. The two of us are one now. We all right. So we locked in for life.
What is a neurobehavioral coach?
All right. So neural behavior coach helps you understand your mind, your thought process, the neuropath, how you think, how you feel, is giving you a deeper understanding of how your brain processes that. And then the behavioral part is your deep subconscious habits. So your habits and your patterns and your methods that you have, all of these things are deeply wired in through different neural pathways that you created as you go through life. So what I do is I come to help you, especially if you feel like you have habits or you feel a lot stuck, you feel like you've lost who you are, you lost your identity, you feel like you've had mental blocks where you just don't know what's going on. You cannot put your finger on it, but you're just feeling like you're off. Or you feel mentally exhausted to a point where it starts to manifest physically. You're physically exhausted too. Usually it's different patterns that are overlapping that is causing that to kind of come out this way. There's lack of clarity going on internally, and then it starts to show up in your life where you figure like all of a sudden I would start high with motivation and then ploop, something is wrong when that happens. Or you say you have something to do and then you procrastinate, you drag your foot. And once you drag your foot, you give yourself all kind of reasoning to justify why and you're not supposed to be dragging your foot. Or when you get opportunities that you start to sabotage, you decide to decline, you send a job application, you're ready, you're happy, they call you, you just decide to come and say, I can't get the job, you need to pay your bill. Why you say that?
Self-sabotage.
Yeah, you start to do that, or you find yourself at the ending of the day, you just cannot fall asleep, you sit down there, you're watching your ceiling for the whole night, you meeting the sunrise, and it's just a repeat, or you feel like it's just stuck in your head a lot, and it's all of those things are mental loops and neural pathways that are formed subconsciously and consciously. So it's more than just talking to you to try to get that out. We have to literally rewire that. So learning your patterns as we have the conversations allows for me to identify your pattern, how you perceived it, how your brain decided to process it, and why it's manifesting this way. Where is the disconnect? So the moment I understand where the disconnect is, say less, see, I know exactly what we throw in, because some things just have to throw. Yeah, I just have to throw some entire neural just take it out, because it's not good. It's not serving you. It's not helping us. Ipabo.
There's a lot I'm actually very interested in that kind of thing, because I'm just very interested. I've always been interested in just the mind, how it works, people,
Yes.
observing people, how people think, myself, my patterns, my habits, all that kind of thing. So I was very excited about this conversation. I'm actually thinking about kind of going into what you're doing, so I might send an application to you. But yeah, that's actually very interesting to me. There's actually a book I'm rereading now. It's called Atomic Habits, and I feel like have you ever heard of
Yes,
that?
I've heard of it, but I've never read it.
You should, and you're welcome. Okay, you read it,
I've
and
heard
it
about
has a
it.
lot to do with just habits, how to break. Just
Can I get it
technique.
online?
Yes, you
Okay.
can. I have the physical book. I just like having the physical book, but yes, you can get the audio book and read it. But it will change
I've heard about
your
it.
life. And anybody listening to this book will change your life. Okay, so this is what you do. At what point and what made you decide to take that leap and jump into neurobehavioral coaching?
To be honest, I was always the advisor, and I think it's my mother that taught me like that, the whole discretion thing. I was always that go-to girl in the group. So it was like, you have something going on, oh, run it by Sarah. Run it by Sarah, I would give advice. It's always I used to just get all kind of questions. I'm trying to figure out how you feel I know the answer to what you're asking me there. But lo and behold, I do, eh? But in my first initial thought process, it's like, why you feel like I would know how to fix this? And I was doing that for friends. I was doing that for co-workers. I was doing that for strangers. You know how many women, hi, if you're watching, I've met in the bathroom. I've met in stores I've met in bars that would just start a conversation, and I'm out here just giving gems of wisdom. I would walk and they would say, hey, and I'm like, where did I meet this person again? I don't remember, but being who I am, I'll never make you know. I'm like, hi. I mean, well, now the cat is out the bag, but don't think nothing. But yeah, I'll be like, hi, how are you? And because of that, I knew I always wanted to do it. I always knew that was where I wanted to go. But then my medicals just literally put a damper on that, because I mean, to afford to go to do them kind of degrees back then, when it's just you dealing with medical expenses, for the week I was spending maybe like $600 in medicals. That's not even including my medication. How I affording to go to school. So by the time I finished up the month, it really was, because not too long after that I felt sick, and that's just been it. So I was like, I want to do this, but how am I going to do this? Like, first I said, okay, I want to be a doctor. Then I was like, boy, 7 years. I'm like, that's going to be a no for me. When I saw the costing, I'm like, how am I pulling that off?
That's definitely a no.
How am I going to pull that off? Then I say, you know what, okay, maybe I should be a nurse. I was like, 4 years. I saw again, because Sir Alpha has the whole thing, and I'm like, whoo, I say, okay, no. Then I say, well, maybe I should be a school counselor, all right? And I say, well, maybe a psychiatrist. Then I say a psychologist. You see how I just deep in to find, because I know the whole category. I know them and the roles that they play. And I figured if I just get into one, I can always just like adapt. I even wanted at one point in time, I said, no, okay, maybe we can leave the medicals, because medical is expensive. I want to be a chef, because I also love the kitchen. Right? But I also know when you're in the kitchen and you're serving food, it's still a connection where you have a conversation. And because I have this thing about me where people gravitate to me, I still figure that I was able to, if you come to me and you say, maybe Sarah, I don't have nothing to eat for today, or I'm short at all, I still feel like I would be able to have the conversation, give the wisdom, give you something to eat, because that's food. We just eat that, we process that going in the toilet, to make that a big unit. So I still was trying to find a way to help others in a way that I feel, okay, that was practical for me to afford financially. And it was the same Tony Robbins video, and finding out what he is. And that's when I discovered in 2019 what a life coach was. Because all the time in all my professions, I didn't know that was existing. The closest thing I knew was a mentor. And I know it wasn't a job. It was, it was somebody that would pay you if at work or in your church. That would,
sometimes you just find them too.
Yes.
Somebody that gravitates to you.
And it wasn't like a financial thing. It wasn't like a job. It was almost like a buddy. So I'm like, life coach, that's a thing? So then I realized that's what he was doing. And it's like, okay, all right. I attended some of his webinars, some of his seminars, and I was like, ooh. When you see the crowd, you see the people's reaction, you hear the testimonies, I was like, oh man, this man is shaping up lives. So I was like, okay, yeah, I want to do that. So at the time, I got training from him. I mean, it was still costly, yeah.
How do you mean you got training from him?
He used to have like different workshops. You could have worked with his coaches. Like he had a team of coaches that he trained, and you could have gotten training from one of them.
Okay, and after that you get certification.
No, you almost getting like the skill sets to it. And then whilst I was getting I would say, I used to say that back in the day, the practical, right? So for him, it was like the practical he was getting, and ideas and patterns of how to do what you're doing, why you're doing what you're doing, and trying to connect that part. I still felt like I needed the theory to make it make sense. And then I came across an organization in the UK that was doing the courses online. I was like, oh, okay. And I did the two together, and I
What were the
remember.
courses like? Like, what were the names? What did they look like?
So there is professional life coaching. There is emotional intelligence practitioner. I'm certified in that as well. I am certified in cognitive behavioral therapy practitioner. So that's also known as psychotherapy. I'm also certified 2 times in NLP, that's neuro linguistic programming. So that's the language, how your brain makes language and thought processes and patterns. So I have the certification in it as a practitioner, and I also have it as a master practitioner, meaning that I can actually teach it as well to others and like a skill set. So I didn't actually get all of them one time. I got the life coaching and I got the cognitive behavioral therapy because at the time, I was thinking of psychology and, all of those things. I was on that still. And it wasn't until I got a client and I'm thinking like I'm connecting the dots. I feel it mature. I can pop my collar because I'm like, yeah, all right. I know what I'm doing. I have theory. I have practical. This is going to work. I'm seeing me making progress and the lady is telling me she's not satisfied. I'm lost because I don't understand what's happening. I'm like, I'm going back through all my notes. I say, but me, I don't learn that nowhere. Like,
She's not satisfied.
how you not fulfilled? How you not ecstatic? How you just feeling like, okay, so yeah, we got that done, yeah. So I over here trying to figure out what did I miss? So I did like what we all do. I went to Dr. Google because I don't understand what's going on. So I start typing and I start saying like, can your mind keep you behind? Is there something that can happen internally even if you're achieving things that you still don't fulfill and you continuously just chasing and
Man, that happened to me.
Right?
That happens to me.
And that is when NLP came. I came across NLP and understanding the mind because of
Neurolinguistics
programming, right? So it's the whole that's where the rewiring foundation stems from, because we're able to understand the mind and the language, how it is processed internally. That's why it's manifesting another way, or not another way, but that's how it's manifesting how it is externally. So there were like a whole bunch of different things that I could have done at the time, and I'm like, ooh, like I want to do it, but I watching the prices and I say, boy, why education have to be so much money?
What are the prices like?
In pounds, we're looking like a couple of hundreds, 2000s. That's
Full cost.
That's pounds, eh?
Yeah.
I just wanted to emphasize on that.
So you have to multiply by 4.
Yeah, and with Tony Robbins, that was in US, eh? Yeah. Because his coaches is not it's not like they say you come here and you pay a therapist 200 or 250. No, not for the people time. Not with like they say the reputation he has.
Yeah.
You have to put your money out to be in that kind of conversation. So I'm like, okay, all right. I read up about so many different things, and I'm like, I'm trying to find the one I feel connected to, because I'm like, okay, so we have life coaching, which does with goal setting, motivation, discipline, habits. I'm like, all right, we can make patterns with that. Then I have cognitive behavioral therapy, which deals with the mind, your thought, behaviors, and feelings. So how you think determines how you feel, and how you feel determines how you behave, right? That's the analysis and the breakdown of cognitive behavioral therapy. So I'm like, okay, so we have that already, and we're creating patterns, and it's also used to deal with certain like disorders, in the sense of like OCD, addictions. It can help you break through those things. So I was like, okay, so we have that. What I think would add to that would complement that I know that would help. And I'm researching, I saw so many things. They had the hypnotherapies, there are other things online. Dr. Google sometimes is not reliable. So many things came up. And then I don't even know how I stumbled on the emotional intelligence and the NLP. I did the NLP. When I saw the NLP, I was like, oh, and I saw it was a 2-in-1 course where you could do one level, and then when you're done, you can go to the next level. And I was like, okay, this is the one, because I mean, if I already know thoughts and feelings or whatever, I might as well know the brain language and how that connects into that. So I was like, okay, and I'm like, all right, I still feel like something missing. And then I came across the emotional intelligence. I was like, if I can help you manage yourself and manage wrong people, I cannot go wrong. So that's how I end up being a 5 times certified
What does it mean to be 5 times certified?
Meaning I have all of these 5.
Okay,
so it's a case where it's not just one
of the
neuroscience that I can use. So when you come to me, there is like, let's say, a 99% chance I'm going to figure out what's going on with you. 1. And 2, I'm going to be able to help you solve it. So it's not a case where we're limited of, okay, this exercise has to work. And then if you tell me you don't like it or you're not responding, then I'm stuck because that's all I know. I have a library. So if you don't like that one, that's okay. We'll get one that you like. We'll get one that works.
The reason why I think I admire this so much, even if I don't know much about it in terms of the practical aspect, how you actually put it into play with your clients, I have been to therapy and I don't feel like I'm trying not to throw shade at it yet. I'm trying to give it a chance. I've been to therapy, but I feel like therapy is not for me because it's not solutions oriented, I do find.
And let me tell you, if you don't want to throw, I can make, like I say, my clients can throw on your behalf. I can quote you some things that they have said.
I feel like your way, because yours is kind of similar to therapy. It's almost it's on the other side of the spectrum. Yes, it's on the other side of the spectrum where we speak about, okay, this is what your brain is doing right now. You could literally point at this is the problem. In therapy, I feel like it's almost like an acceptance. Okay, I have that problem. Let me just learn how to deal with the problem.
No, for me on my end is you are not stuck.
Exactly.
We are fixing that. They don't know this is how I am.
Yeah. So that's my thing about therapy. But as I say, I'm trying to give it a chance. So let's see how it goes. Maybe. Okay.
You'll keep me posted.
I'll give you posted, honestly. But what do you think about we'll get back to what you explained. But what do you think about hypnotherapy?
I can say it's not for me. That's all I can tell you.
From what I've heard, I was actually listening to a podcast. The name of the podcast is Modern Wisdom, and they were speaking to a hypnotherapist, basically. I think he's a doctor or whatever, a scientist, but he's certified and very experienced in hypnotherapy. And what I can say from what he said is there's a spectrum of people that are highly hypnotizable and people who are not hypnotizable at all. So you have to be within that spectrum for it to be able to work for you. So I don't know. I wish I was hypnotizable though.
How you know you're not?
I don't know.
And
but I want to.
I think it's very interesting for you to be able to. I'm not sure what are the cues that they have. You know, there have to be some kind of cues you look for in conversation for you to know, okay, this person is able to do that.
I think it's the states of mind. So you're in the alpha state or the beta state or whatever state of the brain. I don't know.
Possibly. Or it can also be not even just that kind of state. I think it can also be in an emotional state.
So how easy it is for you to tap into these states, I think that's what would probably
make you vulnerable to be able to go under.
Yeah.
It's for me, because I came across it when I was searching for solutions for my client, but I just don't see me the person to dangle. Like for me,
it's not dangling a stopwatch.
I'm sorry, that's how my brain. As soon as I saw it, I'm like, I am always up for a good laugh. I see like if I dangle, and I'm like, gotta go and sleep. Yeah, like why you not sleeping? Why you not sleeping? Or I say I dangle, I see your eye do a shit. I say, boy, what you doing, boy?
You don't distract the person.
I don't make you come out of your thing. Yeah, no, I'm not reliable for that. So I like my brain was like, girl, you is like Okuyo, don't do that. Don't do that. But it was one of the things that actually came up in terms of when I realized she was stuck, the things for the mind. It was one of the things that actually came up, but I was like,
Okay.
I'm grateful for her for being patient because I told her we're going to figure this out. And once I was doing the activities, as soon as I learned something, I'm trying it on her. And I think, sometimes, and that was again, my mother telling me, you have a bad situation, but look at the good side of it. Because now, because of her, I'm 5 times certified. When I met her, I only had 2. And trying to help her is the reason why I find myself on the other side of neuroscience and neuroplasticity and learning about neurons and neural pathways. Like, I'm almost like a scientist.
I love that word so much.
Which one?
Neuroplasticity.
Yes.
I love that. I love that word so much. Correct me if I'm wrong. Neuroplasticity is a fancy word for learning.
To an extent, yes. But really and truly, the nitty-gritty of it is letting you know that your brain can adapt and adjust as you go through life.
Yes.
Right? So that's more than just that. That's like they say the modified version of learning. That's the in-depth.
I feel like everybody, there should be, like, you see the same way you went through primary school and secondary school and you go through the basics like math and English and that kind of thing. I seriously think there should be some sort of subject, I don't know what the name is, where you learn how your brain works.
I don't even necessarily think there should be a subject for that. What I think should be included in the curriculum is ensuring that whatever is in the curriculum has a foothold in neuroplasticity, right? It is techniques that for sure would be processed by the person's brain to increase the chances of them adapting and adjusting and learning the subject in front of them, so that reduces people failing and people not understanding.
Not
and
just failing, but you at least for me, like, you go through school thinking you're just not smart.
Yes, that's what I mean by the whole feeling. And
so you don't understand that you just learn differently.
Yes.
You process things differently.
Yes, definitely. So I think rather than making it, because it's very cookie cutter, and that's why they will tell some children are slow, like you say, or they're just not smart, or they find the polished ways to say, not everybody is academic. You understand? They try to make it like that and say, well, what, maybe you're just sporty, academic is not for you.
You can't judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree. I think everybody's a genius in their own right.
They are, and that's how, and that's the essence of that's why I love what I do, because for me everybody's unstoppable, because my saying is you are the CEO of your life. Before you are the CEO at the company or your employee, you're running the shit here for you. So I make everybody feel empowered. Everybody's a genius, everybody's greatness. That's the element behind what I do.
You have a background of finance before you went into the behavioral coaching, or let's just say life coach.
Yes. No, let's not say life coach. Let's say neuro coach.
Neuro coach.
I'm not a life coach.
Let's say neuro coach, because it's just a mouthful to say all that. So we need an easier way to say
neuro coach. That's
neuro coach. Okay.
Yes.
So what made you jump from finance into the coaching? What was the tipping point to make that transition?
It really was, the feeling of there's more to me. That's what it was. And going through my own personal stuff and deciding that I want to branch out, and I was just trying to figure out why, and then finally figuring out why, I'm like, okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith. It definitely was a leap of faith, because one, it is new. This is not a Caribbean thing. I have done my research. This is an international thing. So why are you so delusional, Sarah? Why are you delusional? That's a huge leap of faith. What? And then because you're carrying, heavy is a head that carries the crown, because you're carrying, trying to convince people now, yes, this is new, but I know it can help you. And then already you're fighting against the stigma for mental health. So you just go and put yourself in the lion's den.
What's the stigma for mental health?
There's a lot of people that believe that mental health, like when you go to therapy, coaching, well, therapy initially is that you're mad. Don't that?
Wow, that's crazy.
Yes, it's that you're mad. Like you have a mental illness, you have a mental problem, like you're broken.
Yeah.
Right? It cannot be a case where you just have an issue or you're going through something emotionally and you just need
Are you just trying to figure out what's going on?
No, you mad. That's the stigma, you mad. And there's also the thing about it where there is lack of confidentiality, and I've heard a lot of clients tell me that, because from my understanding there's a lot of mental health resources that are free.
Really? I didn't.
Yeah, like like I think there's where they were telling me the name is not coming to me, but I think you can get counseling there for free.
Okay.
You
I know
see
priests
a
do it
fair
sometimes.
yeah, but apart from the church, I believe I kind of the name is not coming to me now, but there is a place where and there's the suicide line where you can call and
Like in
there
St.
is
Lucia, there's a suicide
yes,
line.
apparently there's a suicide line. I think is it 211? There's a number there. It's because it's for clients I know this information.
Wow.
All
Wow.
right, and the question it posed from me to me, sorry, was like, like why do people not do it? But a lot of what my clients are saying is not confidential. So imagine you come to see somebody, even to the paid ones, they come to see you, they come to your office, and then next thing they hear somebody else that they don't know discussing what they told you. That's crazy.
It is. It is very crazy.
Um,
How do you reassure people?
I think my authenticity to it, I'm very transparent and very open with my clients. So I lay the expectations on the line. And that's why I do free consultations. Because I'm not trying to and just take your money and tell you, yeah, I can help you. And then probably when you start, even if I take your money already, I realize I couldn't help you and I try and give you a 649. That not sitting well with me. So that's part of why I do the free consultations, because it's more than getting you into coaching, it's understanding what's going on with you first to see if my skill set and yours is fitting. Because if it's not, I will be able to tell you it's not. And you don't even have to, feel no type of way or feel like you waste money only for the person to pretend like they're going to help you and then not
Yeah.
help
I
you.
like that. I like that.
Yes, so I do the free consultations for that. The free consultations plays a lot of roles. It also helps with like people who maybe need an avenue to vent, which I've had, or they just have a question, something bothering them. Let me just pick this girl's brain because some people calling me a brain doctor. I don't know how since she didn't need the brain, maybe she might know, right? So they would do that, and that's fine. That's an avenue for that. So you don't need to pay first to get to me. But if you figure everything I have stand for everything you've seen I've posted, I've done, this is where you are, this is what you want to do, and you figure you need to go straight to coaching, you can skip the free consultation because you know this is what you need, then okay. But then if you're still dabbling, let's get on the call.
How much of your week or your day is taken up by free consultations?
The whole day most times. The whole day, the whole day. And I would like right now tell you, hey, Monday morning I free. Close my eyes, wake up Monday. Close my eyes Sunday night. I can wake up Monday morning and see now 2 consultations. I said, boy.
How long does that normally last?
30 minutes.
30 minutes, okay.
But sometimes it has been a bit longer, and it's not a case where I will rush you off the phone. No client of mine, whether you've done a consultation or a client, they can advocate for me. I will not brush you off. I'm going to let you get your thoughts out. I'm going to let you say what you have to say, how you feel, ask what you have to ask. Especially if I don't have a person call afterwards. I'm not going to be like, okay, well, you know what? 30 minutes is up, eh? So yeah, whatever you were about to say, just pause. Maybe book another consultation, right? But a client told me that happened to her. She went to a therapist, and I think it was a 60 minutes, and she said she was still midway talking, and the lady do a,
Wow.
time is up.
Wow.
How are you going to make me feel like you genuinely care about me when you pull a stunt like
Luckily,
that? I mean,
the therapist I'm going to has not done that to me. But you could, and the thing is, I don't want it to sound like a bad thing because the person does have a lineup of people.
yes,
You
yes.
know, so at some point you still cannot overdo it when it comes to, okay, all therapy sessions, I cannot talk to you for 6 hours
Yes.
throughout the day, you know?
Fair
But there's
enough.
a way
to
of
do
doing
that.
things,
You can
you know?
gauge the time.
Yeah.
You have a time, whether you put the clock, whether you watch your time while the person is talking, because I do it on my calls as well. You have to gauge. There's a timer around where if the person is not seeing it, you see it. So if you realize, okay, we're 45 minutes and we have 50 minutes, and you can just gently say, well, you know what?
Yeah.
We're 45 minutes and you have a few minutes left. Is there anything else you want to ask? Anything else you want to say? Not whilst I still talking, tapping your hand, telling me, yeah, try and wrap up. Yeah, just hold that thought. Hold it.
Like tomorrow, next week.
Tomorrow or check me because my calendar full. So just hold it. Promise me you will come back.
So how do you sell your product though? Because especially when you just started, As you said, there's no other place that really does that. That's not a Caribbean thing.
No.
So how did you initially sell your product to our Caribbean people, and how do you
It
sell your product now?
it started with me blogging and sharing my story. Initially, it was just for me to create a place for people struggling with invisible conditions, chronic conditions, invisible disabilities, to know that, okay, I see you, I hear you.
What's an invisible?
So for example, that's like the autoimmunes. You cannot see
Mm.
autoimmunes. So for example, rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune where your body fights itself and it fights the joints. So you can wake up today and that whole side you can't move it. You can shiver it, but then you would see me and I'll smile and you think that I'm alright, but I have a whole I'm not working. It's swollen, it cannot move. Now you have a lot of fatigue with these conditions, the autoimmunes. You have a lot of your energy dips a lot. It takes a lot for you to do simple things. So people might see you dress and look fancy, and I've heard a lot of lupus warriors say that, like, yeah, I did the makeup and I dressed pretty, but I'm sitting down there and I have chronic pain. The pain does never go off. There's no off button. You just get to a point where if it's tolerable, you manage it and you show up. So I figured, okay, let me talk about mine and create a space for you to feel like it's comfortable for you. And then after I had my first client, I started to talk about coaching, introducing it. So I did a lot of introduction videos. Who am I? What I do, a little backstory, what is coaching, what's the role that coaching plays. Um, and I feel like I'm still sitting in that window of understanding, of helping people understand what I do. But for now, it's more in a comfortable standpoint. Like initially, it wasn't hesitation, but it was, I hope I'm saying it in a way that it can be received. Not that I hope they understand. Because by the way, the people that say that can be a trigger to somebody. Don't say something and then hit the you understand? Don't do that. Don't do that is actually a trigger. Because what I'm with the next person is going to receive it and believe and say, oh, so you just feel like I'm not bright enough, I'm not smart enough. Yes, it gets offensive to some people, it's a trigger. So if you're speaking, you're explaining something, don't say, so you understand, you get it, right? That can be received negatively than positively. There's more negative than positive based on statistics. It's not good. So if you're explaining something to somebody, say at the ending, did I explain myself properly? Because it's not always them not receiving it. It could be the context of the words you use, the choice of your tone, the level of your tone, the words that you use. Language is not, it's universal, but it can be very complex.
Yeah.
Right? So the manner of your whole delivery, you have to go and dissect that before you just jump on, you understand? Because when the person maybe tell you, some people might tell you yes and they don't understand nothing that you say, right? And then they do the opposite and then you get frustrated and be like, oh, but yeah, tell me you understand. But chances are the way that you said it, they didn't even feel safe enough to tell you no, they don't understand. And then sometimes they tell you no, and then you're saying, hey, say I said that you don't understand. Right? These things are triggers. So just say, did I explain myself properly? And these were the thoughts that I had when I started initially. So I'd put the content out there and I used to say, I hope it is delivered how I'm expecting it. And I would try different delivery ways. I'd try different tones. I'd try different words until I felt like, when they say you get what that works and you piggyback on it, I finally got the one that seemed to be universal. So when I speak, there's like a very high chance that if you're listening, it's going to make sense. Right? It wasn't like that in the beginning. And it wasn't a case of me saying, yes, people understanding it. Say like what I say there, that's so nobody don't know that word. No.
That's so easy.
Yeah, don't know. You always have to, especially if you trying to get a message out there. It's more than just do they understand? Did you explain it in a way that you hope that they understand?
I always say effective communication is not imposing your language on people, it's speaking their language.
Yes.
That's how you communicate effectively to people. So.
Right. And in addition to speaking their language, is really because you can have your language and speak their language, is really the blend. You have to find yourself in the middle where you balance it out, where you're able to speak your language in the essence of it comes out confident. So you say, okay, that girl know what she's saying. And then in the same breath, as much as she knows what she's saying it how I understand. So you find yourself in the middle, and that is where your delivery for communication becomes, like they say, effective SS, if that's a word. Right? It becomes that connection that is needed.
Okay. Your keynote address, I'm going to read this question, okay? It's a bit of a long one. Your keynote address at the Functional Neurology and Rehabilitation Global Annual Conference and rewire and rewiring the mind. That I
Yes.
think that was the address that you gave.
Yes,
Right?
rewiring the stuck mind.
Leveraging neuroplasticity to overcome emotional avoidance and overthinking.
Yes.
Let's talk about that a bit. In a nutshell, it was neuroplasticity you were talking about and how you could use it.
No, in a nutshell, I was talking about the mind, rewiring the stuck mind.
Okay. So yes, let's talk about rewiring the stuck mind.
So that's just a little backtrack of me having another moment of just jumping in
Yes.
the lion's den.
The spontaneity.
Let me tell you. But then again, like they say, I could be a false prophet. I could tell you to show up, and then I myself, I there dragging my foot. So I remember searching online. I don't even know how I stumbled there, but I remember searching online, and I saw they were looking for speakers. So I say, well, let me apply because
never speak nowhere before.
I mean, I've spoken before, but on that level, no. But in my mind, yes, I can.
At that point, though, one, what year was it, and two, what qualifications did you have at that time?
Oh, that was this year.
That was this year. Okay, so you already had your 5 times.
So in my mind, I already have 5 times. You cannot tell me I don't belong in that room, right? So, but still, that organization is one of, let's say if they have 5 organizations in the entire world that people go to for stuff about brain health and neurology, they would be in there. If they're not like number 2, they may be number 3, but they're not low on the chart. They are very highly known for that. So just the prestige of feeling like, hey, because I have my 5 times, you're supposed to notice me, was a little moment of delusion. It was a moment of delusion, but I said I belong in that room.
How intimidated did you feel?
Well, when I applied, that is when I realized that's not an application of where you just say, hey, I want to speak, this is my qualification. That's like a job. You literally have to go through like a screening. So you have to put an application explaining why you want to do the talk, like why you feel like you belong there. Then you have to say what you're certified in. And you cannot just say it. You have to scan and send them proof of each certification, and you have to vet it from the place that you get it. So don't play like you go on them kind of free online courses and you get some certificate a little thing, and you figure, yeah, I certified. That's a no. They have to vet it because they give continuous education for the doctors that attend this stuff. And it's through a university, and the university only works with a certain set of certifications and degrees. Wow. So you cannot come and speak and your qualifications does not fit what it's supposed to be for the university. That means whoever attends your talk cannot get continuous education, so you're not fitting what they stand for. So you will be denied. All right, so I still confidently scanning myself because I said, I know I pay my money for these certificates. They were not free. So I know they have some value. Don't tell me I spend money and it's not worth nothing.
Exactly.
What are you telling me there?
Yeah.
I did, and then you had to tell them after you did all of that, because I remember the lady telling me, they have to vet it with the university for the continuous eds. And I was like, oh, okay. Once you've done that now, you have to tell them what are you going to speak about that complements the heading for the time that they have there. So I was like, what are you going to talk about, boy?
Honestly, how long did you talk?
An hour.
An hour? Wow. That's a long time.
So I'm like, what am I going to say that sounds like value to add to the people training? Like, let's be realistic. What are you going to come and talk about? Because in my mind, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to talk about what I'm good at, which is rewiring the stuck mind. That's what I'm good at, using overcoming emotional avoidance and overthinking. So I'm like, okay, that's what I'm good at. That's what I get certified in. That's like my comfortable field. So I remember saying that. And then I proposed how I was going to talk about it, what are going to be the headings, what is this, because you had to give all of that. And when I tell you, it was a process.
Yeah.
You had to give all of that. And I remember the lady saying, okay. After, when you send it, it's not a reply one time. So you ain't know if you get it. You're just there waiting for the email. When you see the name, you're in 2 months to open it because you don't know if it's a yes or a no. But she said, okay, all right, we accept your topic. I was like, oh my God. So I'm thinking, yeah, this is it. She's like, no, you need to prepare also an exam because those are the 10, the talk, it's a continuous. And so you have to prepare an exam for the doctors to take after they take your talk so that they can pass it. I say, boy. Because at the time when I do it, I don't prepare the talk yet. I just know, the basis. I brainstorm and tell you. I don't put it play by play. I prepare an exam to prepare before I do
talk yet. How far were you from the actual talk by the time you got the email?
I was still a couple of months away.
Okay.
So I applied. I applied early, but no, but they needed the exam.
Like one time?
Reasonably, yes, in a reasonable time. Wow. So yeah. So I'm here trying to prepare an exam for a talk that I didn't put in, like they say, in my whole PowerPoint yet. I just know the whole draft of what I was going to do. And then I was like, okay, all right. This is it. I sent it through. I remember seeing her email, and then I remember getting the initial email of thank you to all. I just want to know, we want to acknowledge all our speakers. And then I was like, oh my God, look my name. And then when you watch the list, everybody on the list that was speaking with doctors, everybody had a DR, and then here comes Sarah Joseph.
Sarah Chronicles.
Yeah, so that's right there. Everybody else have a whole DR and whatever. I mean, behind my name had the letters, but I didn't have the DR and all the things these people had in front of the name. And you go into the list and you just see my name there. I was like, oh wow. That in itself, even if like let's say nobody in St. Lucia did not know, for me, that was already a milestone. Watching my name on that list for the date and time and watching everybody else be a doctor. And here I am as a neuro coach and I'm sitting in that conversation. You couldn't tell, I mean, you see the delusion woke off. Because I knew I belonged to sit down there even if I did not have a doctorate.
But you have to have a bit of delusion. You have to.
And then I remember preparing the talk. And that's the question you asked me about if I was intimidated. I'm like, okay, Sarah, we're doing the presentation. But that's not like your other trainings for corporate people. You're going to be teaching doctors. These people know about the brain. So if you feel you're going to come there and say magic, they're going to know that you don't know what you're talking about. Because the people that I was sitting on the panel with, these people were neuroscientists, neurohabilitation.
That's the people that do the studies to put the articles out there for you to read.
Okay, right? And I sitting with them on the panel. So even the people that teaching, I am saying because, they themselves can attend the talk. So I'm like, boy, these people too can see my talk. And I'm like, you have physiotherapists, you have neuroscientists, you have neurohabilitation people, you have doctors, you have chiropractors, you have psychologists, all these people, all of these people are doing the talk. And then here comes my little name. And then these type of people are also attending the talk. We're looking at people like the lady told me at the highest level of neurology and brain health attending the talk. So in my mind, I say, boy, I say, you see why you had not to be delusional, because how are you going to put that talk to prove that? I was like, you know what? When I start, that was the thought. I was like, boy. I say, all right. I say, okay. So I started to try and compound it when I first started to draft my PowerPoint. And then I would play it back and I'm like, they're not sounding right. You understand? It sounded like it too schooly. Like I try and just take all the books knowledge I have and I just slap it on the slide. That's how it was. Because initially that's what I really did, if I'm being quite honest. And then I'm like, this is not me. So then I remember, mind you, I was like weeks away and I worked on that so long and I said, you know what, I'm starting from scratch.
Wow. And
I do around maybe 50 plus slides already in PowerPoint. And I said, I'm starting from scratch. Because I'm like, this is not me. This is not me. It just sounded too bookwormy, too like too trying to be too structured. It was just not flowing my personality. I just felt like I was reading and that was boring to me. Because let's think about it. Neuroscience is not really, like they say, this fun course. Unless if you have a passion for that.
Yeah.
On average, if you're attending that course, you might fall asleep. So I'm like, okay, Sarah, you know your stuff. I had to give myself a pep talk. I did. I said, Sarah, you know your stuff. Why you trying to behave like you don't know your stuff? You've been doing that. You're helping clients. You're helping people. You're doing corporate training. You know your thing. Just do it like you would do any other training.
Exactly.
And now it's say less. I tell you, I was weeks away. It took me weeks to prepare that book one. It took me 1 week to do the one that I just normally do. 1 week. And it took me weeks to do that whole book thing to put together. It took me 1 week to do one.
That's why it took you so long. It wasn't you.
It took me 1 week to do the one that was me. And I mean, I put jokes in there, I put activities in there. And when it was time to present, I was like, yeah, this is it. And I did the talk the 28th of September. That was a Sunday. The Tuesday, which was I think Tuesday was either the 1st or 2nd of October. After 10, the lady emailed me. She told me, I'm ready to give you the feedback in real time. She said the doctors are raving about. Let me tell you, I couldn't hold back the tears. I could not hold back the tears. When I read that email, I said, wow. She told me, all of them say they love your energy. They like that I was included. They like my topic. They like my involvement, my information. They like it. They're using it. So I'm like, I have people at the highest level of neurology, whether in Spain, in UK, using techniques that I put in my training with their clients.
I hope you put in that in your advertisements.
It's taken me a minute to say it because every time I talk about it, I talk to you, and I get in shivers, like the tears want to come because I'm like, whoo, you did that. You did that. And the real-time response just blows my mind. And they was like, that's lots of doctors. And I'm like, these people are getting an exam from me. These people are learning. These people are... For you to come and tell me you are that top there and you enjoying my involvement, and I even have all the multiple, because she told me these people have multiple doctorates and degrees, and so she said to me, multiple doctorates and degrees in brain science, and you're fascinated by me with my 5-time certification, telling you about the stuck mind. And really the essence of my talk was really to tell them that there's a lot of things going on that you cannot see. So I was telling them what to look for, what certain body cues to look for, tones, language, words that they would say. These are the indications. And I gave it to them in real time because there's just certain things that are evident. And then even in there, I would tell them, pause. Given now that I've given you the cues, I know in this moment there, as your brain is processing it, there are clients that comes to mind. These clients, I need y'all to reach out and do X, Y, and Z. Let me tell you, I know they have clients coming, and you would see the nodding, you would see, you would see the nodding, you would see the, yeah, because it's very detailed. And if you are a doctor that pays attention, and I mean the people, the caliber of people that attended, they're paying attention. Because no way you come and try and get continuous ed still. It's improve you want to improve. All right? You just feel like, you can do more, you can help more, you can help your patients more, you can, So even whilst I was telling them about the patients, I told them it cannot be a brain talk, and I don't use your brain tools. So I made them do activities on themselves. And I'm like, yeah, I know you're probably saying, why is Sarah have me doing that? But you have to do it. We're talking about the rewind, the stuck mind, so I have to play on your mind too.
True.
All right? And I would laugh, and then I'm like, yeah, but you still have to do my activity though.
Is what you do, well, I think you've already kind of answered that, but I'll still ask the question.
Yes.
Is what you do just for mental and emotional well-being?
Yes, but then in the other words of my 6-year-old, I'm a superhero because mental and emotional wellness is suicide prevention, is drug addiction prevention, it's crime prevention. I'm saving generations.
But in terms of achieving goals, running a business, starting a business. Do you think that what you do would help with that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really depending on everything starts in the mind. Let me tell you, success starts in the mind.
Yeah. And
So regardless of what area, what path you're in, if you're feeling stuck, you're feeling like you're struggling with overthinking, procrastination, or you're feeling like you just don't know who you are anymore, and you're just riding this wave, it doesn't matter if you're starting a business, you're an entrepreneur. It really doesn't matter.
I think I have a client for you.
Yeah. it really does not matter, because those mental blocks don't have no time stamp on them. Because I also coach adolescents, and you have children that's already 11 years struggling with self-confidence and self-doubt. 11, carrying heavy weight, like they can sit in that conversation with us.
Yeah.
And that's just to show you that the brain is always working, and whatever you teach it, and it processes, that's how it's going to manifest it. You're not saying, oh, well, you're 11, you shouldn't be having self-confidence. I'll just hold it until you reach 16 and then I activate it. No, you're having it in real time.
Give us one quick hack that we could use in our everyday life, for some common habit that you've observed in your profession so far. Give us one quick hack or something that you've used that we can just use in our everyday life.
One really good one for especially overthinking is a brain dump. And by brain dump, I mean offload everything that's on your mind onto paper or onto your notepad. Or if you feel you don't want to write, that's fine. Voice note it. You're going to get it out. And what that getting out is going to do is going to take some of the weight mentally from you. So when you're overthinking, there's a lot of congestion happening in this area. Your neck start to tense, you tend to get headaches, you start to feel the tightness in your shoulders. All of that is just your mind carrying a lot. So when you dump it out, the way your brain is going to process it is that you process all that information that was that backlog. For it is you process it.
I feel like when you think in your brain, you don't necessarily think in words. So it's almost like you think in memories and thoughts and images. So I feel like when you say to do the brain dump and you say like you kind of processing it, whether you use the voice note or the writing or whatever, you kind of filter in these thoughts from images and whatever they may be to complete sentences, and you could actually process what you're saying.
You don't even need full sentences. You just need to start. And you're right in terms of the brain having a lot of thoughts, because on average we have 6,000 thoughts a day. 6,000 thought patterns and feelings and emotions going on a day, the average person.
Yeah.
So if you're an overthinker, you're above average.
I'm not average at all.
But
I figure it in 10.
But you're not going to write 6,000 thoughts, because a lot of them are repetitive. More than half of it. So we're looking at a good 95% of it is repetitive. You're just thinking the same thing different ways. It's whether you're saying, even if it's negative of I cannot do this, you might be saying I cannot do it, or I'm not capable. All of this means the same of I cannot do it, I'm not worthy, I'm not enough. All of these things tie together and it can be grouped. So emptying it out, and also once you empty it out, you start to section it. And you section it into things like, what's important, what I can get help with, and what needs to throw. I already did tell you from the beginning, there's things in our brain that just need to throw. Why we are worried about what happened in 2020, right? Or even 2011, why that's still taking storage?
That's true.
That's 10 years ago. We're still carrying storage of it. Now, these things will also let us know if it's in a case of pain and hurt, then for sure you have to process that. Because if that have a good couple of years and it still weighs you mentally, and then when I mean to throw, there are some things that are meaningless that we carry around. Like, you come, you leave your house this morning, somebody cuts around, cross you in traffic, they do a marge, you get vexed. You still carrying that, and that happened since 2020. Why you still vexed when that man cuts across you at whatever gas station you was at? Why are we? These are the things I'm talking about to throw. That just taking up space.
Yeah, literally just taking up space.
Like, there are some meaningless things that you can let go. Because the two common things I get is procrastination and overthinking. So the overthinking, we do the brain dump and we section. The sectioning, as I mentioned, to focus on what to do now. It's just what's important, what you need to do for today and maybe the next week or the week after. That's all that's supposed to be taking up your capacity. Now, when you start to categorize it, it's not going to be that scary or intimidating to your mind, and you start to get some clarity as to where to go next. Then if you struggling with procrastination, I always like the 2-minute rule. And I remember doing that at a corporate training, and one of the attendees, because there was a space between the training days. And I remember telling him to do that. So the 2-minute rule is really to just start for 2 minutes. You put a 2-minute timer and you start whatever it is that you have to do. What happens in the 2 minutes is, for one, if it's intimidating, and you survive, did you die?
Yeah,
you didn't
exactly.
die. The brain is going to be like, okay, all right, well, we can do
We can
this.
do it for 5 minutes.
We can do it for 5 minutes. The next thing you check, you're going to just end up completing it.
Yeah.
So the 2-minute rule, I remember him coming to tell me when I came back for the next day of training. And he said, Sarah, it worked?
Yeah. Now, the thing about it is, the 2 minutes is like, once you do the 2 minutes, if you want to stop after 2
You
minutes,
can stop.
you can just stop.
It's really guilt-free. But most of the times, 80% of the times, you want to continue.
And I will say that too. That's correct. I imagine for me, I think it helps with something else. And I didn't know of it as that. It's kind of like something I thought I made up, apparently not. So for me, I have this thing where I have this huge goal for the podcast, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel so guilty when I am not working. So I come from work and I get to work for the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And even if I work for 5-6 hours straight, when it's my bedtime and I need to stop, even if when I stop, I still feel guilty. There's still work to be done. So I kind of give myself 1 hour. So I say, if I can do just 1 hour every day of work,
Mm-hmm.
I can stop after the 1 hour. But most times I go over the 1 hour.
Right.
But once I've done that 1 hour, I should feel proud of myself that I can stop working for that day. And so I just found it was similar to that.
That's actually a good practice that you're doing, because what you're doing now is you're training your brain to, you don't make the rule too rigid. That's why the guilty is reducing.
Yeah.
Because you didn't make it very rigid. And to add to that is something that I also tell clients for goal setting, which was the next point I was going to give, is when you see you have goals, let's be honest, life is going to keep life in. And there's things that we literally cannot control. The weather, how the day in itself going to go of the outside of what we do, right? So when you have goals and you have to-do lists and stuff, always do a minimum goal and a maximum goal. So even with your podcast, you could say for the week, the 1 hour a day, realistically, you might be able to maintain it now. But if tomorrow you fall sick and the 1 hour doesn't happen, your brain is going to remember that, and you might start feeling a type of way, and you might feel forced to drag your sick self to try to go and edit it. So what I want you to do instead is, rather than the hour a day, do it in the maximum and the minimum for the week. So you could say for the week has 7 days. I want my minimum goal is 3 hours for the week. I want to focus on the podcast. And my maximum is 7 hours, which would be the 1 hour every day. So when the end of the week comes, regardless of what, let me tell you, life could be life and you could be sick. You can do all kinds of things. And once you get the minimum done, which is the 3 hours, let me tell you, your brain will feel very ecstatic.
I love that.
And you'll feel like it's the 7 that got done, simply because you gave it that range. So at the end of the week, you still feel satisfied.
I love that. I think you just finished a piece of my puzzle. That's right. Because I was doing the 1 hour and it was really, it made the workflow better. But that piece, I
so
love
do
that
it the
piece.
minimum and the maximum way. So at the ending of the week, so you don't reflect for the day, you reflect at the ending of the week, whether it's a Saturday or a Sunday, and you would check to see. And once you do your minimum goals, your 3 hours, you're feeling ecstatic. Like, let me tell you, nobody can talk to you. Next week, you're ready to see if you can do the 3 or more. And as you continue the maximum and the minimum, what's going to happen is you're going to get a level of flexibility and satisfaction that is going to send you forward. Next time I talk to you, you might tell me, girl, I'm doing 8 hours a week. I'll be like, mama, you have an extra day.
What's a myth about your profession that you tired of it?
Well, a myth for me about the brain, the saying of we only use 10% of our brain. No.
It's our whole brain.
We do use different parts of our brain every day depending on what we're doing. So right now, we're using the prefrontal cortex, which is used for thinking, decision making, processing, and basically staying online. All right. And then probably later on in the day, you're doing something else, and then you may be using the cerebellum, which is for memory. You then backtrack on memory. So you tell me I'm using 10%. So you're using the different areas, even when something maybe intimidating happens. And you tend to freeze up. You start to feel fear. You start to feel self-doubt. Guess what you're using? You're using your limbic system. That's another part of the brain. That's where all the emotions live. You have the amygdala, which is responsible for fear. So what you telling me? How you using 10% and all of these areas as we work in?
Using 100% of
You're
your brain.
using, yes. The only thing that I think the theory of the 10% is just at different intervals of the day you're using certain parts. But that 10% is a number that I just need to throw.
Yeah, I guess that's 10% everywhere at all, in all parts
Yeah,
of your
but
brain.
then the way it comes across, it makes you feel like, oh, you know,
There's so much more potential when
in
it
your
comes
brain.
to
No,
yeah.
so you're trying to tell me I just on autopilot.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you're using a good portion of your brain every day to do the things that you have to do.
So how do you measure progress when it comes to your clients? What kind of metrics do you use?
I actually don't do metrics because I know it can also be perceived differently. And my whole essence of what I do is to not give you stress. I'm de-stressing you. So we're not using nothing that can possibly give a whiff of stress.
Because it's almost like if you backslide, it's like, oh no, I was there, now I'm back there.
They don't have that.
That.
They don't have that. They don't have that because healing in itself and emotional wellness and mental wellness is a process that if I put it on a scale, it fits the flow of what I do. So to see your progress, I do activities with you. So it's not a case, it's not even not a case, it's more than a case of me coming and tell you, you know, you did good this week. I'm gonna do an exercise with you for you to see, and then, hey, Sarah, Sarah. I'm like, yes. Girl, this week was amazing. I'm like, I know it was amazing, but I needed you to say it was amazing. So I let you see the results. So it's more than just because, you know, sometimes you can say, like, oh, that person just saying that, or you're not convinced, your therapist just want to sound nice to you and make you feel good today. And then you leave her office and you're saying, me, this week was not good. We don't have that. I'm making you see that you did good on your own.
I see that you kind of, from what I've observed, you kind of in a flow state right now where like you just go in, you know what the goal is right now. You have your certifications, obviously you have your goals and stuff in your journey. But in the past, I guess, year, 2 years, what has been one of the biggest setbacks for you personally?
Still my health, still a battle. Still a battle that I'm trying to conquer. That's really what gets me to not be able to show up how I want. Because let me say, when I show up, the delusion is very high. It is very, very, very high. So it's almost like I get the setbacks where I maybe fall sick, I have downtime, and I cannot show up how I want. But you see the moments that I can, I skyrocket in those times. I do. So in an essence, I don't even like beat myself up about it and figure I should be further or this is it. I don't even see it as a setback. I just see it as balance.
Okay. Where do you see your business in the next 5 years?
Oh, well, I'll be famous in the next 5 years.
Okay,
Yes,
I
I'll
agree.
be famously known for helping people show up for themselves. I'm gonna be that girl. So when you see the
You already
conversations,
are. You already are.
thank you. So when the conversations come around mental health and mental wellness and emotional resilience, I want to be the first name that you remember to say, yeah, this young lady was making sure that everybody felt empowered.
Okay. I have a universal question.
Yes.
I ask it to all the guests that I have on the show. Um, Not just financial, I always start off with that. Not just financial success, but if you had to advise anyone on how to be successful in life, doesn't have to be financial. It could be in their marriage, could be in whatever particular goal that they have. What would you tell them?
Well,
In any facet of
first of all, what I would tell them is there's no one size fit all for success. And that's part of my brand anyway. So when you say not financial, my mind would have never gone to financial because I don't stand for that. Success is not a one size fit all. Success looks different to everybody. So the first thing I would tell you about being successful is define what success means to you. I have everybody do that, from clients to people that I interact. Don't tell me what you see online. Don't tell me what your parents tell you. Don't tell me what your friends tell you. Don't even tell me what your spouse tell you that you should be doing. Tell me what success looks like to you. So give me the visual and give me the emotion. What does it feel like? So how does it look? Success could look as simple as slow mornings, just the ability to be able to wake up and you don't have to rush. You can have your breakfast, like literally sit down and eat your breakfast, put your clothes on and then go to whatever it is, if you're going to work physical location or if you have your at-home office. That in itself can be your definition of success. Slow mornings is for you. The moment you get to that point, you don't need the zeros behind it because you would have actually been in a zone that a lot of people also aspire to have. Slow mornings is a thing. But people don't mention it. It is a success. You see, to be able to just wake up.
That's what I want.
And you see?
Yeah.
And it is a level of success because a lot of people don't realize that's what they're aspiring for when they tell you they want financial freedom. That's what they want. They want the slow mornings, to be able to detect your day, to be able to get up today and say, if I close today, I can close for today and I don't have to worry about if Lucille is going to disconnect me. Simply because I'm able to be comfortable. I can get up and give myself a decent breakfast. I don't have to grab the Jamaican patty in the supermarket and eat. So define that for me. Tell me what it looks like to you. And then tell me how it would feel. Is it peace that you have and tranquility when you get up and you're able to sit and you have your coffee and you notice nature? You have a lot of mindfulness because we're not mindful. Sometimes we leave our home at 5 in the morning and the sun rises and we never even notice that the sunrise for the day. We are not mindful. So you have mindfulness. You feel at peace, or you feel joy. You're excited for your day. You wake up and you don't know what happened today, but you just know today is going to be a good day. What's the emotion that's attached to that? So do that homework. Define what it is for you. You don't need to share it with anybody, but have it somewhere written down and work towards that. Once you have it written down, ask yourself, what can I do today? What is the next step? Not anything else, just the next step we want to know. We're not going fast. What is the next step that can take me one step closer to that vision that I have? So that next step can be anything. That next step could be trying to practice to wake up. Maybe if I wake up a little bit earlier, I can just get a little of the idea of slow mornings. If I maybe whilst I'm driving, I try to be a little bit more mindful and just notice nature around me. Or if the day gets busy and I just can get to pause in between and take a walk outside or just watch my surroundings. What is the smallest thing I can do that can just give me the width of that I need, and that little width of adrenaline and motivation and dopamine that's going to kick will help you to piggyback. And then every time you just ask yourself, what is the next step that can piggyback on the next one? And next thing you know, you draw the whole picture.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
This video is going to help so many people. I hope you know that.
I'm hoping that was initially the plan.
It's going to help so many people. Okay, so towards the end of the show, I normally end with a game.
Okay.
Okay, so this is yours. This is yours.
Okay.
All right. The name of the game is called Back to Basics. So basically, what it is I ask you a couple questions from primary school.
Yes.
So primary school, early secondary school kind of questions. All right, and you do your best to answer them.
That's my God.
That's all. So it's multiple choice. So all you do is number it, and you put your letter. If you want, you could put like the letter and the word.
Okay.
But yeah, you just put your letter. All right?
All right.
You ready?
Yes.
So back to basics, everyone. If you all want, you'll take out your whiteboards too, or your notepads, your pencils, and you'll do the back to basics with us, and let us know how many you got right, how many you got wrong.
Oh my God.
So we're going to start off with biology. What part of the cell is known as the powerhouse? A, the nucleus. B, the ribosome. C, the mitochondria. And D, the cytoplasm. Do you want me to read the question again?
Yes, because I feel like I know the answer to that, but it's not coming back. Oh my God.
What part of the cell is known as the powerhouse of the cell?
A,
the nucleus. B, the ribosome. C, the mitochondria. And D, the cytoplasm.
Okay.
All right. Number 2. Which organ in the human body pumps blood? A, the brain, B, the heart, C, the lungs, and D, the liver. You good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do plants produce during photosynthesis? A, oxygen, B, carbon dioxide, C, nitrogen, and D, hydrogen. Do you want me to read the question again or keep going?
Read it again. Let me make sure I put the right thing.
What do plants produce during photosynthesis? A, oxygen, B, carbon dioxide, C, nitrogen, and D, hydrogen. Okay. What you did there was so funny.
Because I'm not sure.
What part of the human body controls balance, what part of the human brain, controls balance and coordination? A, the cerebrum.
No.
B, the cerebellum. C, the brainstem, and D, the spinal cord. Okay. What is the largest organ in the human body? A, the heart, B, the liver, C, the skin, and D, the lungs. You ready for the next one? So we're moving on to history.
Oh my God.
Who was St. Lucia's first prime minister?
That's not true.
A, Sir John Compton, B, Kenny Anthony, C, Alan Chasney, and D, Philippe J. Pierre.
Well, not Philip for sure.
Okay.
Alright.
When did St. Lucia gain independence?
Wait. I just figured that would have come. I don't know.
A, 1969, B, 1975, C, 1979, and D, 1983.
Alright, we have an answer. I don't know I never know what it is. Let's go.
St. Lucia's two Nobel Prize winners are St. Lucia, two Nobel Prize winners are known for A, music and sports, B, literature and economics, C, peace and science, and D, art and medicine. What is the national dish of St. Lucia? A, green fig and saltfish, B, bouillon, C, akra, and D, pepper pot.
How is Accra even a national dish?
Which volcano in St. Lucia is known as the drive-in volcano? A, Mount Jimmy, B, Gopito, C, the Sulphur Springs, and D, Piti Pito.
Because how you come up with them questions?
Let me tell you. We're moving on to math.
Hey, they still are coming. Oh my God.
What is 7 times 8? A, 48, B, 54, C, 56, and D, 64.
7 times 8. I know 7 sevens are 42. It's 40. But give me the numbers again.
A is 48, B is 54,
No, it's B.
C is 56, and D is 64.
Because isn't it?
7 8s.
It's
You're killing me. Oh my
16.
goodness.
24. No, it can be 16. I counting in fours. 8, 16, 32, 40.
She said it's 42.
8 fives are 40. 8 sevens are 40. No, 8 sixes are 48. So 8 sevens are 8 and 8 is 16. It's 50. No. What am I need 8 fives are 40. 8 sixes are 48. So 8 sevens have to be, and you add the 8 to the 48. 8 and 8 16 is 56. What is the numbers I had there again?
A is 48,
Oh.
B is 54, C is 56, D is 64.
Right. Now, okay, I have to go back all in my brain because it's yes, 56.
What is 10% of 250? A, 20, B 25, C 40, and D 40.
$25. What number was 25?
A 20,
Oh.
B 25.
All right, there we go. We cooking with
40,
gas.
and D 40.
I good.
I hope that's correct.
That better be correct there. It is.
Yes now, eh? If a shirt, yes now, if a shirt costs $40 and there is a 25% discount, how much would you pay for the shirt? If the shirt is $40 and you get a 25% discount, how much would you pay for the shirt? That is A 25, B 30, C 42, and D 45. Would you like me to ask the question again?
Yeah, what's the number? What's the answers?
Okay. So
the answers I want.
So okay, the answers are A 25, B 40, C 32, and D 45. Oh, look at calculation you do that. You don't get none of the answers.
So I have to go to the one that's so closest because I'm not sure.
Okay. All right, so we did.
Oh my
so we're
God.
going to go through them.
Oh God.
All right, your
yes.
pass mark is no less than 3 wrong.
What? What you learn that out of 13?
Than 3
so I have to get 10 out of 13? Oh Lord.
All right, so
you're looking too good, huh?
Number 1.
The answer is what?
What part of the cell is known as the powerhouse? The answer is C, mitochondria.
Now my mind says that, you know. I'm looking like a C.
Mitochondria is the answer. Which organ in the human body pumps blood? The answer is B, the heart.
Right, so we're here.
Okay, what do plants produce during photosynthesis? The answer is A, oxygen.
You see, I don't even know why I do that.
A and B slash B is crazy, but don't worry, I still going to give it to you.
Because after you say it, I know it's one of them, but I cannot remember which one.
What part of the human body controls coordination?
Yes.
D, the spinal cord.
Yay!
What is the largest organ in the human body? The answer is C, the skin.
Yay! No way it's a body and I don't know the answers. Yes.
History. Who was the first prime minister of St. Lucia? That is A, John Compton.
Yay!
When did St. Lucia gain independence? The answer is C, 1979.
You lie! That was a lucky guess.
St. Lucia, 2 Nobel Prize winners are known for. The answer is B, literature and economics. What is the national dish of St. Lucia? The answer is A, green fig and saltfish.
Because it cannot be a
which volcano is St. Lucia known for? Which volcano is in St. Lucia is known as the driving volcano? The answer is C, the Sulphur Springs. Okay, now we move into your favorite subject.
No. What it is, it used to be. Imagine that. It used to be, but not now, huh?
7 times 8 is indeed C. 56.
I don't know a whole counting by 8
essay. What is 10% of 250? The answer is B.
Yay!
If a shirt costs
that one might not be
$40 and there's a 25% discount on the shirt, how much would you pay? The answer is C, $40. You got 11 out of 40. Number 1 correct. You got 11 out of 13, which is good. You pass.
Of course I pass.
So you are indeed smarter than a 5th grader. Okay, you are smarter than a 5th grader.
Of course I pass.
11 out of 14. Sarah, thank you so much
You're
for
welcome.
being here. I had so much fun with this conversation. I learned so much. I learned a lot. I'm going to be watching this video over and applying the things you spoke about.
Yes,
I
please.
really hope whoever watches this is able to learn, is able to grow, is able to get past procrastination, get past all these things. And if they're still not able to, they're able to contact you.
Yes, please.
Where can people follow you? Where can we find you?
You could find me on Instagram. That's my primary account. So that's at @SarahChronicles_. You can book through there for your free consultation whilst you're there. And for free resources, because I know sometimes it's more than just the finances, it's also feeling that you're worth it. So whilst you maybe still dabbling in that space, you can get stuff to back that up. On my Instagram as well, I have a 3 ebook called Mastering You. So it gives you mental clarity, balance, and confidence. So you could get that workbook to start your self-discovery journey and just trying to connect more with you. And to piggyback on that, I also have a blog, a newsletter on LinkedIn called the CEO Mindset. So you can find me on LinkedIn and then if Sarah Joseph and subscribe to the blog. If you've noticed, if you haven't, I'll say it, I don't do the fluff. So I'm not just saying things and then afterwards you're still lost. So that in itself has practical tips that you can apply one time to try to start to see progress. And on top of that as well, I do have a podcast on YouTube called Sarah Chronicles, where I also give practical tips as well for you to start. So you have an ebook, you have a blog / newsletter, and you also have a podcast and you have a free consultation. I'm giving you all the resources so that you can be great.
There's no reason. You're taking out all the reasons to say no.
Yes,
there's
there's no reason for you not to show up for yourself.
Exactly.
Remember, you are the CEO of your life, so you have to start to show up. Use all the free resources until your finances are up, and if you need to start, I will be here present. So until then, still use all the resources.